Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I felt called to come on and do a reading. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the energy right now, I don't know if a bunch of people are losing hope or people are just filled with doubt. I don't know what it is, but I almost didn't do this reading because of the energy I was feeling, but that just made me want to do it even more. And I was just sitting here reading some of your comments. I don't always respond, and as you know, sometimes when I go into my comment section, I get triggered. But sometimes it's really nice just to read all of your beautiful comments. So after reading some of your beautiful comments, I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna go do a reading. So let's do a reading. I don't know why I'm tearing up all of a sudden. Maybe you're feeling emotional. I don't know. But I just wanted to look at what you need to hear about your current situation. And we're going to go past, present, future. Right away, I'm having a hot flash. I'm having like Phoenix energy. So maybe you're breaking some sort of pattern, breaking some sort of cycle. Let's get into it. Whenever I think that the reading is just going to be straightforward and simple, it never is. And usually when I hit record, I have no idea, what's going to come out, what I'm going to channel, the downloads I'm going to get. The last time I pulled out this deck, it was quite the reading. It was quite the reading. So I'm interested to see what comes out today. I will be using the guidebook just because it says Psychic Tarot for the Heart, but this is actually an oracle deck and doesn't include any court cards. So it does have like the oracle cards are based around the major arcana and minor arcana, but there's no court cards. So I like to use it kind of like an oracle deck. But anyway, now I'm out of breath. So when I'm out of breath in a reading, it usually symbolizes someone who I just heard, I'm sick of the journey. And I'm not meaning to laugh at you. I'm laughing because I get it. So maybe you're feeling tired of the journey, or it can be symbolic that you've been on a long journey. It can also, sometimes when I can't breathe in a reading, I'm actually experiencing what someone else is going through. So maybe some of you aren't feeling well. The other day I couldn't breathe in a reading and I had confirmation someone said they had pneumonia. And it was like, yes, that's why I couldn't breathe. Anyway, if you are feeling unwell, I just wanted to send you lots of love and light. And let's just get into this reading and see what this is about. So I'm not going to, no, I am going to look at the cards as I shuffle. What am I talking about? So Spirit, lead us in this reading. Spirit's going to lead the way for this reading. So I hope you guys are doing well. I'm not sure if this person is going to watch this reading, but I just came from my comment section and and now I am having chills again. Someone was saying that when I said, you could do this, you could go after your dream, that something inside of them, they kind of felt this energetic reaction inside of them. And I don't know why I'm telling you this. And then when I commented, I said, you can do this, you will do this. I got chills again. So just a shout out to that person, you can do it. And if you are someone, if you're not that person, and you've got a little whisper inside of you telling you that you could do something, or you're capable of more, or you deserve more, listen to that gut feeling. Anyway, that was a weird sidetrack. So we have Hanged Man energy here. We have Observe. So you could be in, like, this is going to be a love reading. You could be in Hanged Man energy with someone. So what that means is you could be on a break, or Hanged Man energy is, you're sacrificing, I should say your souls are sacrificing being together in order for growth and new perspectives. Remember, Hanged Man leads into the Death card, which is transformation. So whatever this separation is, it's leading to transformation, whether or not that means transforming and coming back together, transforming and moving on. One thing I just want to make really clear, or I feel called to say this, is know your worth. If you keep putting up with less than you deserve, that's what you're going to keep getting. And that's why I talk so much about empowering yourself and healing, even if that means being alone. And I have to tell you, the healing journey is a very lonely journey. So I just heard, I'm here for you, babe. I don't even know what that's from. Is that from Full House? I don't even know. I feel like Jesse would say that. We have Take the Lead. What is this? Is this Three of Wands? I think that's Wands. Three of Wands. So take the lead. So if you are connected to someone where you want to, I was hearing instigate, where you want to instigate healing or you want to enforce healing, you need to take the lead. That's what I was just saying about knowing your worth. If someone is giving you less than you deserve and you continue to let them give you less than you deserve, you're setting the tone. There could be some ER fans here. That's whenever I say set the tone, I think of the show ER. If you do like ER, tell me. Because that is like my favorite show ever. All right, let's get one more shuffle. We have Opportunity Beckons, and I believe that is the Four of Pentacles. So let's see here. Let's see what's going on. What is going on here? I have chills all of a sudden. What's happening? What's happening here? We have Detach. Oh my gosh. And what was I saying? Listen, this is the card of Justice. I think in this deck, sometimes Strength and Justice. Sometimes Strength is number 11, but I think this is Justice. But we have Detach, so it looks like you're trying to detach from a situation, and it can be really hard to detach, especially from a soul contract. I do channel a lot of like complicated soul contracts. Recently, or a couple months ago, I did some kind of thing where I had some sort of reading done based on my birth chart to what my mission was, because even though I was living my mission, I wasn't quite sure if I was like, you know, imposter syndrome, which is another, I'm just looking at that sacred wounding deck that I used yesterday. That's imposter syndrome is another shadow, clearly that I was working on, need to work on sometimes. What was I saying? Anyway, if I did this thing about my life purpose, and my life purpose is to help people fix their connections and bring them back together. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. That's not what I set out to do, but anyway. So it's interesting that I was talking about detachment, and I was talking about it, you know, if you accept less than you deserve, you're setting the tone for that person to keep giving you less than you deserve. So you could be trying to detach from someone. With the Justice card, you could have been, I mean, I'm just going to read the card. But this could be past energy. This could be current. Take it as it resonates. But with the Justice card, you could have been being blamed unfairly, or there could have been an imbalance, or somebody could have wronged you. And maybe now you're trying to detach, or you need to detach. Again, I'm going to read this, but take it as it resonates, because I'm not actually pulling it as like past or present. So I'm not quite sure how this falls or how this resonates with you. But I think it's interesting that we have Hanged Man energy, because we have detachment. And then that Hanged Man energy is, you know, sacrificing being with that person in order to gain new perspective, in order for them to shift their perspective, leading into death transformation. So reflect, accept, decide, clarity, responsibility, fairness. Sometimes our ego prevents us from seeing events clearly. It's time to detach emotionally from a relationship or situation so that you can step back and reevaluate. Reflect upon how the relationship is working. Is it satisfying? What role do you play in its harmony or disharmony? An honest appraisal is required in order to gain clarity and help you better understand what might need to be done in order to improve it. This is true even if the relationship is already a good one. Yeah, Justice. It's important to accept that your previous actions, decisions, and beliefs have led you to your current situation, whether it's pleasant or difficult. We do steer the course of our lives, although often without conscious intent. By assessing your situation and and accepting responsibility for it. Why does the movie Ever After always come into my brain? You're able to free yourself from the need to blame another person or destiny. Didn't I say someone could have been blaming you? Or what I often see, and I've experienced it myself, is people who are in unhealthy relationships where they're accepting less than they deserve are just blaming the other person. And I actually saw, just before I started this reading, I was watching this creator on Instagram who says there's a reason you attract people like that in. It's showing you a lesson you need to learn about yourself. So you could have been in a connection, or you could be in a situation where you're just blaming the other person. Well, they do this, they do this, they do this. Are you allowing it? You know, a lot of us on the healing journey are learning how to put up healthy boundaries. And again, if you're accepting less than you deserve, it's setting the tone for this person to keep giving you less than you deserve because you're not putting up any boundaries. Anyway, so by assessing your situation and accepting responsibility for it, you're able to free yourself from the need to blame another person or destiny. There's no guilt associated with this card, only clarity and empowerment. And as a reader, I see it all the time. I see people, and I used to do it too. It's one of the things that I've been working on. I see people blaming the other person or even blaming the tarot reader. Like, so if you're feeling like blaming anyone, it's time to look within. And I know that can be triggering for some people, you know, when just really transparently long ago when I was dealing with someone who was quite unhealthy. I spent the whole time blaming them for treating me badly when I was staying. Like, I was staying in that situation. They were mistreating me and I was staying there. So in looking back, I was the one that needed to accept responsibility that I was in an unhealthy situation and I needed to put up a boundary and remove myself. You set the tone. Once you've detached yourself from and examined a relationship, hanged man energy, lack of relationship, or matter of the heart, you're in a better position to decide what your next step might be. Remember that the detached card knows no ego. Remember how I said when I started this reading, I was like feeling a lot of ego. Decisions arrived as a result of drawing this card must be fair and balanced for everyone involved. Affirmation, I accept the role I play in creating my relationships and my life. So maybe you've been attracting the same type of person, like same lesson, different person. But let's get into it. Again, I'm not here. I'm hearing from spirit. They're going to think you're blaming them. I'm not blaming you. And if you're hearing that, that's ego. That's your ego being triggered. That's a wound being triggered is what I'm hearing. Anyway, so let's look at the past. I want to start with the past. So let's look at the past. Show me past energy. Refusing to see. Oh my goodness. My friend, like there's a theme happening here. There's a theme happening here. This is Two of Swords energy, refusing to see. So you could have been, you know, accepting less than you deserved, and maybe you were refusing to see that. Maybe the universe or your intuition was trying to tell you that, but you were refusing to see it. Maybe you were refusing to see somebody. For some reason, I'm hearing something about potential, like maybe you saw the potential that someone could be, and you were refusing to see how they were showing up for you. You just saw what you thought they could be. And I have to mention with counterparts something that happens is when you first come together, you get a glimpse of each other's higher selves. It's when you come together, it kind of brings out your higher selves. So you see kind of, the potential of this person. And again, I'm talking about counterparts specifically. And if you're not a counterpart, then don't listen to what I'm about to say. But what happens with counterparts when they come together is, like I said, you see a glimpse of their higher self. They show up kind of as their higher self or a lesser version of their higher self, and you get a glimpse of, who this person could be to you. And then very quickly with twin flames, within like 3 months, you both kind of drop down into your unhealthy patterns. And I've heard I've heard a lot of counterparts say, like, I saw my person a certain way and I haven't seen that in them since. So anyway, you could have been attached to the idea of the potential of someone and you were refusing to see how they were showing up in the 3D. So let's read this card. It does feel like it has to do with love, because love is on the bottom. We have love on the bottom. And what I wanted to say is, you could have been struggling to love yourself, because sometimes when we don't love ourselves, or we have a fear of abandonment or a fear of rejection, we actually, we can put up with less than we deserve because we don't love ourselves enough. Anyway, let's see what this card is about. I know this card, I swear this card came out the last time I did a reading. So where are you? This is the Two of Swords. Is that Cups? I saw okay, so listen. Earlier during the shuffle, remember I said Four of Pentacles? It was actually the Four of Cups. So somebody could have been taking your love for granted. You could have been taking yourself for granted. I said in a reading specifically about counterparts yesterday, if you can't see your worth, how do you expect your counterpart to see your worth? Like, if someone's taking you for granted and you just let them take you for granted, how are they ever supposed to evolve and change if you just keep letting them take advantage of you? You know what I mean? And again, I just feel like I'm triggering people right now. All of these things that I talk about are they're based on, well, I do a lot of research, but this is my special interest. I do a lot of research. I've spent time in therapy. I'm on my own healing journey. But these things that I'm talking to you about, I just want you to know that I've experienced them. That's why I'm talking about them. So just know that you're not alone, okay? Assess, decide, impasse, honesty. 119 could be symbolic, like September 11th or November 9th. I don't know why that's coming to my mind. This card speaks about, this is your past. This card speaks about how important it is to see relationships as they are rather than how you'd like them to be. What did I say about the potential of someone? Like, as a counterpart, we can kind of feel and intuitively sense. I know this sounds like a bunch of BS to someone, like someone who's not into this is like, lady, you're crazy. But as counterparts, we can kind of intuitively see, especially if you're, awakened and you can see through that veil, High Priestess, you can kind of see the potential of your counterpart because you had a glimpse to their higher self, and they're also part of you, right? Anyway, on social media, there's a lot of, I talk about it all the time, there's a lot of like black and white thinking out there, or creators who are putting out this message like if they wanted to, they would. And I have to say, those creators serve a purpose because they help people who are stuck, refusing to see. It's like brutal honesty, right? And it does help. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. So This is not always an easy or comfortable thing to do. However, in order to make correct decisions in a relationship, you must be clear about it. Are you maintaining the status quo even though the current situation may not meet your needs, accepting less than you deserve? Are you at an emotional impasse in a matter of the heart? This is past energy. At this time, you may be withdrawing emotionally from a relationship or the need to make a decision regarding a relationship. This does not serve your best interests. You must open your eyes and your heart to the truth. By honestly assessing the situation, you'll know what you need to do. Knowing the truth will make your decision easier and will lead you to more fulfilling relationships. Again, I think it's interesting that before I even pulled these cards, that's what I was saying, that, if you want more, if you're accepting less than you deserve and you want more, it's important to put up healthy boundaries. So you could have been, in a situation where you were seeing what you wanted it to be. You knew what you wanted in the relationship, but that person wasn't giving it to you. They weren't meeting your needs. And maybe you were just kind of treading water, hoping. I'm so out of breath right now doing this. Again, I'm fine. That's energy that I'm channeling. But you could have tried to tread water, hoping that things would get better, hoping that, if you just told them one more time, here are my needs, Again, I'm getting a major message of seeing the potential of someone, but they were showing you in the 3D that's not who they were at that time. So yeah, that's what we have for past energy. So that's, if you come across this and this is your energy right now, just know that you're actually empowering yourself by letting go. And again, part of my mission is to help heal these soul contracts and bring people back together. That's why so many of my readings are about that. And just because you let go of the version of this person that's showing up for you right now doesn't mean that they won't transform into a higher version of themselves. But sometimes you have to let go in order for that to happen, especially with counterparts. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see current energy. We have Blossom, Judgment. Anyway, we also have Spread Your Wings. Okay, so we have Blossom, Judgment. I don't know why she always reminds me of Kirsten. Oh my gosh, what is her name? The one from Bring It On. Kirsten Dunst, is that her name? She always reminds me of her. So this is great because it shows judgment energy. Well, I'm just going to awaken, transform. Yes. I'm so proud of you. Again, by releasing what doesn't align with you, you actually make room for awakenings and transformation and for other people to grow and evolve, Anyway. Awaken, transform, stretch, possibilities, direction, and growth. And it's on page 69, which to me is such a counterpart number. Matters of the heart are much like flowers. In the bud stage, the relationship is in the state of potential. It requires loving care and attention to help it grow, develop, and bloom. The people involved in the relationship must be willing to trust and open themselves to each other. With a proper amount of nurturing, this relationship will blossom and bring beauty to the lives of those involved. It's time for you to nurture the potential of your relationships. New life and love are waiting for you. You only have to reach out and take hold. Seize the energies of renewal that surround you now and allow yourself to blossom like a beautiful flower. Yes. And you know what? When you're in that energy, accepting less than you deserve, you can't blossom like that beautiful flower. And again, I'm not here. If I'm triggering you by saying, talking about letting go of someone who's giving you less than you deserve, that shows a wound of attachment, which is something we need to heal. Anyway. Awaken to the possibilities regarding desires of the heart. A blossom follows the sun because its warmth and light nurture the flower and infuse it with energy. The sun even provides some of the nutrients but needed by the blossom. What is the sun in your own life? So right now you're focusing on the sun in your own life. You're focusing on your own awakening, nurturing yourself. And by doing that, you're setting yourself up for love, whether it's with your counterpart or whether it's with someone new. So what is the sun in your own life? What nurtures you and helps you thrive? Do your relationships provide what you need? Not this one. If not, it may be time to transform your life and grow in a new direction. And again, if this is you right now and you're accepting less than you deserve, and you keep saying, here are my needs, and this person isn't meeting your needs, or they're mistreating you, and you're on a cycle of repeat, that cycle can't break until you free yourself from it. And again, just because you're freeing yourself from it or putting up healthy boundaries or focusing on yourself doesn't mean that person will never come back. You have to believe if it's meant for you, it'll come back. And if not, the universe will send you something even better. I'm a believer of that. Now I'm getting that song Believer, not like the one from Shrek. Whoever sings it. All I'm seeing is Donkey singing it. I'm a believer. Anyway, you're in a period of growth regarding affairs of the heart. Stretch yourself and your ideas of what you believe is possible. And what was I just saying? I believe. That's crazy. And know, in fact, that all things are possible if you only follow your sun. So right now, if you haven't released it, you need to release it. You need to detach. And you need to focus on your own happiness. You need to focus on, things that make you feel good. And it has to be more than just this person. If you're sitting around waiting for someone and you feel like a piece of you is missing, and again, counterparts, I know how it feels because that person is part of you. You do feel like part of you is missing. But part of your journey is to empower yourself and feel whole on your own. And I see it all the time, people commenting like, I'm going, like, it's been a year. Like, I know it's really difficult. But it's so important to find other happiness in your life so that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You know what I mean? And it will actually help. Like, especially if it's your counterpart, it will actually help your counterpart the more you focus on yourself and the more happiness and healing and transforming you do within your own life. So right now, focus on your own awakening, focus on healing, focus on, like, if you've been thinking about working out, me too. I'm like, I keep trying and then my motivation runs out. Anyway, we should have like a support club or something. Did you do your however many steps today? So maybe focus, like if you've been thinking about working out or going on more walks or taking a class or like live your life is what I'm hearing. And this says believe anything is possible. And again, if this person doesn't rise to the occasion, ever after, get out of my head, then the universe will send you something else. And I know I can hear my counterparts, but I don't want anybody else. I know. Let's keep going. So your affirmation, I awaken to the beauty of relationships that nurture me. So, and especially if you're a divine feminine, you need relationships that nurture you, that give, like you give to them, they give to you, Anyway, and this is the card of Judgment. So I do feel called to read or to look. We'll just look at it. Look, you want 222. Magic. What does 222? Do I have 222? 2-2, the master builder, stable, disciplined, determined, resourceful, building foundations. Weaknesses, destructive, overly intense, dramatic. 222, alignment. So this, I feel like this, hearing these messages, if you follow them, it'll help bring you into alignment, is what I'm hearing. Get in there. Happy Snow Moon Day. I don't know when I'm posting these, but it's a snow moon today. So happy Snow Moon Day. I keep going to pick up my tarot book. So twos, maybe you're seeing a lot of twos now. That's not two. I mean, it is two, but it's a major arcana. So this must be wands. Is it wands? Let's see. Wands, yep. Spirit, spread your wings, expansion, freedom, confinement, decision. I need to read this to you. Energies of expansion are around you now, and because of this, you may be feeling restless and uncertain. Your mind and soul are ready to soar, but you may feel confined by certain relationships or certain aspects of them. Although they may be comfortable and feel safe, it's possible they don't quite fulfill your needs. Oh my gosh, do you see the trend here? My goodness. Even the desire to be in a relationship can be restricting because it becomes your focus and you forget to live your life to the fullest. So you could even be someone who's, you know, feeling lonely, and like just desiring connection and love so much that it's actually blocking your energy. Sometimes when you think you have all that you could ever want, you realize that you now want something else. Perhaps a relationship has grown a little too restricting or it's not exciting enough. Or maybe it no longer meets your needs as you've evolved and changed. Dang, Spirit. What will it take? What will it take to allow you to feel unrestrained and joyful? Listen to your heart. What do you really want? Remember to make any needed changes with love and compassion. All right, so let's look at your future energy. So let's look at what's coming for you. Spirit, let's get future energy for this beautiful person that I'm dealing with. I'm really curious as to what that card was. It was well-deserved reward, and no other cards came out. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. My guides told me to take it because no other cards came out, and that was the one that I saw. So this is what's in your future. This is 9 of Pentacles, I believe. Yes. So this is your future. Your efforts are paying off. See? All this effort that you've put in, like freeing yourself from whatever this is, it will pay off for you in the end again. And if this person, let's see, February 29th could be symbolic, or February 9th, that's my sobriety birthday, or September 22nd could be symbolic. I did mention September 11th as well. Anyway, all of this work you've been putting, like, I know this is hard, and all of this work you're putting in will pay off. And again, it's either going to pay off as this person coming in changed and transformed to give you what you need because you had the strength to honor yourself and your own needs, or the universe will send you someone else, you know? Again, this is a love reading, so your efforts are paying off. When this card appears, it suggests, I'm so out of breath right now. It suggests that you have seen or will soon find your relationships falling into place. It hasn't always been easy, but you had the discipline to persevere. As you work to create fulfilling relationships, you sometimes had to give more than you would have liked, but you've seen the positive results of that action. You kept the ultimate goal in mind. Be proud of yourself. You've shown that you're self-reliant and confident, and this is the 9 of Pentacles, and this is the energy where you attract in what's meant for you. Because the 9 of Pentacles is this says self-reliant, but it's, you know, you've worked on your self-confidence. You realize that whatever you need comes from within you, not from outside of you. And that's when you're in that's when you attract in. When you're not desperately searching or seeking, you know? You're entering a phase of your life where your dealings with others will become effortless. Be considerate and compassionate in your interactions. There is less need for confrontation now. Diplomacy, is that how you say it? Is the better approach. As you move forward, expect to feel satisfaction with your accomplishments regarding love in its many aspects. You are being blessed for your hard work. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's a pretty clear message, is it not? So I'm just going to get a few tarot cards to see. I'm just going to go past, present, future. Do I want to get some of these sacred wounding cards? You may or may not resonate with these. And this may even, I'm a little obsessed with this deck. I said yesterday in a reading, at first I was afraid of it. It was like my shadows were like, don't go near that deck, that it's gonna shine a light on our shadows. And now that I've touched it and used it, I'm just obsessed with it. But I just want to see, I don't want to sound like a broken record. I know a lot of my viewers watch like every one of my readings, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm also trying to spread awareness on wounding and how, again, it's not just so black and white. Like just because someone has a wound we don't need to demonize them, is what I'm hearing. So I just want to look at possible wounding within you or within, for some of you, I feel like you're dealing with a counterpart. So I just want to look at possible wounding within this blockage here. Okay, so you may or may not resonate with these. And if you don't resonate with them, it could be that it's your person's energy or whoever you were connected to in the past. If you're feeling triggered, it means that I'm poking at an unhealed wound. Anytime you're triggered, it's because a wound is being ripped open. And I think that we've been taught to blame the other person, like, how dare you trigger me? When really they're just poking at a wound. They're poking at an unhealed wound. So let's get into it. Let's see. Soul contracts. I'm taking that. Because that's what part of my mission is to help these, like, to help people who have these complicated soul contracts. Again, I did not see myself doing this. I was a photographer. Like I was a photographer. I was not expecting this would be, okay. I get it. See, instead of just trying the same thing again and again, it doesn't work. I'm going to change what I'm doing here and split it in half. And that's a message for you. Don't keep doing the same thing expecting different results. That's, you know, a lesson that I had to learn and I'm still learning. So there. Take that, deck. So lessons coming from soul contracts will show up as reoccurring patterns, relationships, or challenges that feel deeply familiar, as though they are part of a larger unseen agreement your soul made before coming to this life. These lessons often push you to confront unresolved issues, deepen your understanding of love, forgiveness, or personal growth, and teach you about your purpose, strength, and resilience. And that's why I do what I do and I talk so much about soul contracts, because they're there for a reason. And I think I'm someone who spent my entire life ignoring these soul contracts, ignoring what they could teach me. Anyway, I'm going to set that off to the side. So Spirit, please show us potential wounding within this dynamic, possibly who you were connected to now or in the past. Okay then. Like, okay then. Oh, this is strange. I did a reading yesterday. I haven't posted it yet, and these cards came out. So you could be part of that collective. A blockage of the throat chakra. And this is exactly why First of all, for some of you, you may have a blocked throat chakra blocking you from expressing your truth or standing up for yourself or putting up boundaries. You could have a blocked throat chakra when it comes to sharing your own voice with the world. Maybe you feel like you have something to share, but you're afraid to speak your voice. You're afraid to get it out there. You could also be dealing with someone who's silent right now. And that's why I always say it's not as simple as if they wanted to, they would. And I often talk about blocked throat chakra energy. It's why my throat always closes over in readings. And I also talk about the fact that some people who are neurodivergent have a really hard time communicating. So again, it's not just that black and white. If they wanted to, they would. So look at this. That thing says, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Will show up as difficulty expressing yourself, speaking your truth, or feeling heard, leaving you silenced or misunderstood. It may manifest as fear of judgment, trouble communicating, or holding back your authentic voice. And, you know, everybody always tells me, your voice is so lovely. And, you know, I love listening to you. And I didn't speak for most of my life. Like, this is the most I've ever spoken in my life. And it's because I'm speaking from an authentic place now. Before I wasn't, I had a blocked throat chakra. I think I've told you guys, and if you haven't heard me say it, at one point I thought I had throat cancer. Like I honestly thought I did, and I went to the doctor because I had pain in my throat and they couldn't explain why I was experiencing pain. And now that I'm awakened, I know why I was experiencing pain. But on a side note, if you're experiencing pain, get it checked out by a doctor before you know, always make sure. I just have to say that. So blocked throat chakra. So this could be you, or this could be the person you're connected to. We have needing to focus on shadow work. This feels like it could be you as well. Maybe your person too. And a lot of counterparts need to separate to focus on their shadow work. And the more the feminine focuses on their shadow work, the more the masculine does. And I'm not talking about gender. Will show up as reoccurring emotional triggers. Remember, I mentioned triggers. Unresolved conflicts or behaviors that feel out of control or misaligned with your true self. It may manifest as unexplained anger, fear, or shame, repressed emotions, or patterns of self-criticism, showing that there are hidden aspects to yourself that need to be brought into the light to heal and integrate. And that's the whole reason I bought this deck to share with you people. Was so that we can do our shadow work together. Because you don't have to be alone on this journey. You can energetically hold my hand. So wounds from your family of origin, which is common for counterparts to have wounds from their family, will show up as deep-rooted patterns of unworthiness, fear of rejection, or a need to overperform to feel loved. And this one triggers me. This one triggers me because I grew up feeling like I needed to earn love and overperform. And like I said in a reading yesterday, I think it was on Instagram, that maybe not, I don't know, that I used to I actually became the parent a little bit in my house. Like I would constantly, like every night, clean the kitchen because I was seeking approval from my parents. I would clean the house like from top to bottom every Saturday. I would shovel our long ass driveway, even though we should have been getting a plow. And you know, it wasn't just because I was a good kid. It was because I was craving attention and validation and love. And I learned from a very early age that in order to get that, I needed to perform. Anyway. Healing is no joke. Healing is no joke. But that's why I believe in this, because the more we heal ourselves, the less we're stopping the patterns so that our children don't experience this, you know? Anyway, it may manifest as struggles with boundaries, repeating unhealthy cycles, what was I saying? Or carrying unresolved emotional burdens that aren't yours to bear. All right, let's keep going. I want to get a few more. I'm obsessed with this deck. I feel like I'm going to be pulling it out in every reading, so get ready for that. We're all going to heal. We're all going to heal together. And if you don't want to heal, turn this video off. All right. You have free will. If you don't want to heal, I'm not here to force you to heal. I'm done trying to convince people to heal. I've learned my lesson. Let's get another one. We have needing to address a hypervigilance wound. Will show up as constantly scanning your environment for danger, overanalyzing every situation, and feeling like you can never fully relax. Is anybody else being triggered by all of these cards? You may struggle with sleep, peace of mind, and a persistent sense of needing to be on alert even in safe spaces. Yes. This wound often stems from past trauma or survival mode, blocking inner calm, trust in others, and the ability to feel truly safe. That one was a little bit triggering. For me, anyway. I'm just going to get two more. Attachment to material possessions. So you could be this, or you could be connected to someone like this. This could even be reminding you of some of your parents, you know? Will show up as placing your self-worth in what you own, causing fear of loss, anxiety, and a constant need for more. I'm looking at my shopaholics out there. Also, side note, I went through a brief period in my life where I did actually like to read books, and I used to love reading the Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella. Man, I used to laugh out loud at her books. Anyway, it often stems from the belief that possessions define your value, hindering inner peace and fulfillment. We have needing to heal from narcissistic abuse. So this could be like, again, if someone has been abused by a narcissist, like if you're connected to someone who grew up with a narcissistic parent, it will show up as cycles of manipulation, control, and devaluation leading to self-doubt, confusion, blah, blah. So again, that's why I'm doing this, is because there's many layers to this healing journey. Maybe you were someone who had a narcissistic parent, or maybe this person had maybe this person had narcissistic tendencies. Anyway, let's read on. Leading to self-doubt, confusion, and diminished self-worth. It often stems from the abuser's deep insecurity and need for power, creating a dynamic that blocks genuine love, trust, and mutual respect. Dealing with chronic guilt and shame. That's triggered. Will show up as a constant feeling of unworthiness, as if you're carrying the weight of past mistakes or perceived failures that never fully release. It may manifest as self-judgment, over-apologizing, oh dear, over-apologizing, triggered, or an inability to forgive yourself, often keeping you stuck in the past and hindering your ability to embrace your present self with compassion and acceptance. Now, I have to say, I don't over-apologize anymore. I think some of you remember when I first started my channel, I would apologize for everything. And that's something I've been working on. And actually, again, love and light to my sister. Sorry. Sorry I'm using you as an example, but it's helping people heal. And I've said this to her. But it kind of shocked me the last time, or when I was with my sister in the fall. She doesn't live in the same province as me. And when we were together in Florida, the amount of times she apologized, it was like, what are you fucking apologizing for? Like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's like, stop that. Like, what? Stop apologizing for existing. Like, it got frustrating. And it made me see, like, I wasn't frustrated with her. I was more so frustrated with the fact that we grew up in a environment that caused us to apologize for existing. But I kept saying to her, like, stop apologizing for existing. Like, you need to stop that. Anyway, so that could be symbolic here. So I'm just going to keep all those there. All right, let's get some tarot now. I'm going to use Light Seers So we have Hanged Man, and look. Queen of Swords, boundaries, Hanged Man energy. Now, Hanged Man in reverse. Let me look at that. Fear of sacrifice, fear of sacrifice. So what I'm getting here is that you could have been someone who is afraid that if you put up boundaries, you would lose whoever this was. Or in the past, you were afraid that if you stood up for yourself or you had high standards for love, which, again, years ago, I would hear someone had high standards for love and I would think like, oh, that person's uptight, or that person's this, or that person that, and I would judge. And now I know that it's by having high standards for love that you attract in what you truly need. Anyway, it looks to me like you could have been investing in a connection and you were afraid that if you put up boundaries that you would lose this person. Or maybe you didn't want to be like separated from this person. Anyway, take that as it resonates. I just think that's very fascinating that those are the first two cards we saw. And we have Seven of Wands, boundaries, my friend, boundaries. I always tell people I didn't know what a boundary was until I started therapy when I was 35. I didn't know what a boundary was. I thought it was a fence or like, I'm spitting, or, you know, when they put up police tape. So definitely the need to put up boundaries here. Six of Wands, success, leading to success. That's an interesting one because right away I'm hearing something about feeling unseen and unloved. What's that about? And we have Four of Cups, which we saw in that other, like, you could have wanted a successful outcome so bad that someone was taking you for granted and you were like afraid to put up boundaries. Take it as it resonates. That's what this feels like. There's the boundaries card, right? So we have 10 of Cups, leading to emotional fulfillment. So doing the inner work, healing yourself, doing inner healing will lead you to emotional fulfillment. And, you know, you can be emotionally fulfilled without being with another person. And when two people who are emotionally fulfilled in their own energy come together, it's a beautiful thing. Let me just look at this 10 of Cups because we have Five of Pentacles. So fear of rejection, fear of abandonment. And when you're emotionally fulfilled, guess what? You don't feel that abandonment because you have your own back, is what I'm hearing. Anyway, what was I looking up? The 10 of Cups. See, I just thought this was going to be like a straightforward, simple reading, but nope. Emotional stability, security, personal fulfillment. I'm just going to read you the advice at the bottom. This card can serve as a reminder for you to see the abundance and magic around you. Perhaps you have gotten lost in the daily routines and have not taken a chance to appreciate the beauty you have created in your own life. So again, you don't need another person to feel emotionally fulfilled. And if you do, that shows you that you need to do more inner work. And that's what, you know, one of the things I try and tell people who are, I see it on like, I don't have a lot of friends, but I watch a lot of like love reality TV show for whatever reason. And one thing like a red flag is when somebody, I felt even weird saying that. I don't want to use that term red flag, but anyway, it's coming out as red flag. A red flag is when two people get together and someone's like, oh, I've never, you know, I've never felt this fulfilled before or loved before. Now my life has meaning. And again, I used to be that person. That's actually not healthy. True fulfillment comes from within. It doesn't come from another person. This reading is intense. This reading is, oh, it's 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3. You're in alignment. 1, 2, 3. You're on the right path. 2, 2, 2. You're in alignment. Anyway. So let's see past energy. What's going to come out here? Show me this past energy. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. And I can tell you right now, somebody wasn't meeting your needs. Somebody wasn't meeting your needs. With the Page of Wands, it feels like you could have been dealing with someone who was treating you like this was a fling. You could have been dealing with someone who was failing to commit to you, right? Page of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. I feel like someone was failing to commit to you, or someone was being unreliable. And I feel like, again, they weren't meeting your needs with the Queen of Pentacles, and perhaps, you know, you had to focus on yourself and meeting your own needs. Like when I think of the Queen of Pentacles, that Queen of Pentacles meets their own needs, you know? Let me just look here. I just want to look at my book in case anything else wants to come through. Page of Wands. So in the past, you could be an earth sign and you could be dealing with a younger fire sign. Take that as it resonates. But it feels like you were dealing with someone who was very unreliable or very immature, or who was distracted, like who wasn't giving you enough time and energy, I'm hearing. It also talks about an aimless search for love for some of you. This person could have deceived you. They could have, you know, there could have been a lot of problems between you and this person. And maybe you didn't know your own worth. Like maybe you didn't. I'm just trying to think of what this Queen of Pentacles is about, because to me it looks like your needs and your desires were commitment and stability and protection. And I don't feel like this person was meeting your needs. Just to touch on the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse talks about insecurity. So you could have been, like, again, too insecure to put up a boundary here. Again, I'm not judging you. I'm here to try and help. And the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, I don't know why I'm hearing the reversal of this, but the Queen of Pentacles in reverse also talks about being in the relationship for the wrong reasons. And that's kind of what was coming through. And I know that immediately when I say that, most people think of staying in a connection for money. Maybe that was you. Like maybe you were staying in a marriage because, like for some of you, this might not be about a counterpart. Maybe you were staying in a marriage because you shared a house together, you had kids together, you couldn't financially be on your own. So maybe, you know, you were refusing to choose yourself in that situation. But in the relationship for the wrong reasons, the other thing I was hearing, like you could have been staying in a relationship because you saw the potential in someone, even though they weren't giving you that potential. And your needs weren't being met, but you kept staying in that connection because you were insecure, or you had a fear of abandonment, or a fear of being alone. And again, none of those things make you a bad person. Just like that's what I say about when I do love readings and counterpart readings, and I talk about these woundings. These woundings don't make you a bad person. It shows that you were a child who didn't have your needs met and you have inner wounding. So again, I'm not here to judge you for staying in that relationship. Anyway, it feels like, you know, it could have been an anxious situation with this energy. So let's look at, for some of you, you could have been dealing with, you know, I'm just thinking about that narcissistic abuse card up there. You could have been dealing with someone who who appeared manipulative. I'm really called to this Page of Swords. And for some reason, the Page of Swords always makes me think of, I have this book here that describes, some of you already know what I'm about to say, because this is like one of the only cards I pull out of this book. But the Page of Swords could refer to someone who, like, maybe you didn't know this person well, you could have been communicating over the internet, you could have lived far away from each other. But whoever this person was, this won't resonate for everyone. They were clever, opinionated, and very good with their words. They may be slightly too clever for your liking, and you suspect they are capable of sharp practice or deception. So this could have been someone who, you felt was manipulating you, is what I'm hearing. So let's look at current energy. What are you? We have the Knight of Cups. Okay. And you know what? Knight of Cups, that came off for a reason. Knight of Cups, you could have been, like, your intuition could have been telling you, what did I say about intuitively? Maybe you saw this person's higher self or got a glimpse of their higher self. So your intuition, like, kind of took over. The Knight of Cups follows their intuition no matter what. And sometimes that can be a good thing, but sometimes when we need to be more logical, like the Queen of Swords, and put up a boundary, our intuition can convince us to stay in a situation where logically we need to put up a boundary. Again, I can only speak about that because I've experienced it. So let's go current energy. Eight of Cups, walking away. Yeah, not that I'm happy that you're walking away. That's not what I'm happy about. But this Eight of Cups is walking away from less than you deserve. It's magic. It's magic. Do you believe in magic? Because I do. So that's your current energy, walking away from less than you deserve. And there's nothing like, of course that's sad. Of course it hurts. Of course it hurts to walk away from someone where you know you're accepting less than you deserve. But it's also needed, is what I'm hearing for some of us. So Eight of Pentacles, walking away from situations and people that no longer serve you, walking away from, I'm even hearing walking away from these wounds, healing these wounds and walking away and leaving them in the past once and for all. That doesn't mean covering them up or not acknowledging them. Once you heal them, you can leave them in the past. So your current energy, for all I know, the universe could have been sending you like messages. I'm thinking of the tower, where that tower shakes. I always joke, like, the tower, you can either climb down safely or the universe will throw you out of it. And I am the type of person that needs to be thrown out. Like, I'm the type of person that needs to be thrown out of that tower. I'm trying to learn my lesson. I am spirit. I'm trying. But for all I know, for some of you, maybe you couldn't put up a boundary because your wounding, was so deep. And maybe the universe orchestrated this person walking away from you. Somebody walked away here, whoever it was. I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I think that sometimes, it's okay if it wasn't you that walked away. You don't have to feel like less of a person or anything like that just because this person had to walk away from you. I still think it was needed. So walking away, letting go, searching for truth, leaving behind. And we have the Eight of Cups represents living in alignment with our truth and instincts and walking away from disappointing situations. You may have recently left a job, relationship, or a friendship that was unfulfilling. Anyway, and again, Eight of Cups in reverse talks about accepting less than you deserve. And that's why I got happy when the Eight of Cups came out, because that's what this reading has been about. It feels like your needs weren't being met. And now current energy, you're walking towards fulfillment. And that's what we have here too. This card talked about it too. This card also talks about being in alignment. And we had the 222 pop out and I saw 123. If you're not someone who follows signs and synchronicities, like, that's how they work. It's magical. It's freaking magical. And I feel bad for anybody who doesn't see that magic. Like, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I went into the city today and I was just looking around. I was sitting in traffic and I was just looking around at all the people, like, unawakened, like, and I felt very sad for some reason. Anyway, so current energy, we've got Eight of Cups. For some of you, you walked away from a soul connection or a soulmate, someone you thought was your soulmate or a soul connection. Another thing I'm seeing, current energy, you're working on your childhood wounding, which is, if you're listening to me, then I mean, that's kind of what I talk about. So that's beautiful. Connecting with your inner child, perhaps. And that's part of, focusing on what brings you fulfillment. That's why I tell people, like, if you want to connect with your inner child, do things that you love to do as a kid. Like even something as simple as coloring. Buy yourself a coloring book. Like treat yourself to a coloring book or get some Play-Doh, I'm not built for this world. So for me, Play-Doh was always like, I'm weird with textures. So Play-Doh was always not my thing. But again, buy yourself a stuffed animal. Buy yourself. You guys probably remember that when I first started healing my inner child, I started buying myself these little figurines and toys and stuff. Anyway, if your budget allows, and you don't need money to connect with your inner child, there's other things you can do. But anyway, let's get one more for current energy. Actually, Spirit's telling me to take the Six of Cups, so never mind. So let's go future energy, and then I'm probably going to end this reading. Like, I know that this was a different type of reading, but let's see. Future energy for you. Show me this person's future, please. Show me this person's future. Show me their future. Look. Come on now. Come on. That's beautiful. Divine feminine energy. The Empress. That is one of the beautiful, like the most beautiful outcomes I've ever seen. So that is beautiful. And I'm going to take that card. So let's talk about what we have here. Look, we have the moon, divine feminine energy. And listen, this card talks about you getting the love that you've given returned to you. And that's what the Six of Pentacles talks about. My dogs are freaking out because I got so excited. Beautiful, beautiful. Divine feminine energy times 2, Anyway, that is freaking beautiful. So your future energy, healing, clarity, increased intuition, increased emotions, maybe you're someone who has a hard time tapping into your emotions. This Six of Pentacles is showing me that you're going to get, thank you, Spirit, I'll bring that up in a minute. You're going to get reciprocity. And that's what I said. If this person from your past or even your counterpart can't give you what you need to love yourself enough to heal yourself and put up those healthy boundaries and know what you want so that someone can give it to you, And if it's not this person in your past, whoever they are, whether they're a counterpart or not, I believe the universe will send you someone who will, see your worth and reciprocate the love that you have to give. And now I'm hearing that song, Wheel by John Mayer. I'm going to see the love I give return to me. And to me, that is your affirmation. I'm going to see the love I give return to me. And now I kind of get why I see readers say, put that affirmation in the comment section, because it does affirm it. Like you plant that seed in the universe. Even if you don't want to put it in my comment section, write it in a book, write it on a sticky note. Listen, write this on a sticky note and stick it on your bathroom mirror. I'm going to see the love I give return to me. Do it. I mean, if you want to. Anyway, this is beautiful. The other thing I'm hearing is for some of you, you, divine feminine, are going to help others. You're going to use your enlightenment and your intuition and your healing capabilities to help others on their journey, whatever that is, you know, even if it's not tarot, even if it's just like, I'll use myself as an example again. I used to have a TikTok that I shut down. I used to have a TikTok where I helped autistic people and ADHD people, like helping people in some way. Okay. Anyway, that is beautiful, my friend. And there's nothing else I can say. There's nothing else I can say. I feel like that's a perfect place to leave this reading. I do want to read to you your future outcome, the Empress. And again, affirmation, I'm going to see the love I give return to me. So, a sensual, committed, in terms of love, right? You're going to have a nurturing, supportive lover, sensual, committed relationship. This is what you have to look forward to, right? Whoever you are. A creative period at work, nurturing colleagues, material comfort, giving, sharing, material wealth, and generosity. So you're going to be healed enough to help others, or you're going to make enough money to help others. I've recently started watching this comedian who goes into like grocery stores in the States. Maybe some of you know exactly who I mean. And he'll walk up to them and he'll be like, here's $100. Or he'll say, I want to pay for your cart of groceries. Like he says, he has a YouTube channel. He's almost at 100,000 subscribers. And he said, I've had a really good year financially and I just want to give back. And you'd be surprised at how suspicious people are. It's actually kind of sad to see how suspicious people are of him trying to be nice to them. And I mean, that's the world we live in. It's not their fault. That's our society. Anyway, this reading, what the heck is going on? So my friends, that was your reading. Just, simple and straightforward. And I'm going to leave it here, but I'm sending you lots of love and light. And like I said, I'm here for you and I will talk to you soon. Bye.